Hey, folks, Dave Iava here from Under Pressure. We are the new pressure washing podcast in the industry. I'm here with Joe Donofrio, and I'm also here with Marc Englebert from Precision Paint and Pressure Washing, commonly known as P3. And welcome aboard, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Dave.
So,
thanks for being here, Marc.
It's my pleasure, obviously.
So I'm very interested because our executive producer talked to me about your background and how you got involved in this industry, and how you're really one of those great stories of scrounging up some equipment and then turning it into a very scalable company. So I'm gonna pass the mic over to you, Marc, and tell us your story, how you got started, and how you created the ability to scale your business.
All right. Well, I won't give you all the boring details, but suffice to say, I started this business with a Subaru Outback with 2 borrowed ladders and a borrowed pressure washer. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. Nobody rode in my passenger seat for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was about 8 years ago. And if y'all are familiar, about 8 years ago, man, my job in my industry went away. I was in medical sales.
Okay.
Yeah, suit, tie, briefcase. Hey, how are you? Let's talk about this. Blah blah blah.
You weren't working for Pfizer, were you?
I was not.
That's a mistake to leave that job.
I met the people who were. Yeah. So the job went away, and I was scrounging, and some buddies of mine who owned a landscaping company, they said, "Hey, would you come help us wash this house?" And I said,
"Yep,
sure, why not? I'll do that," because they didn't want to get on a ladder. I washed my first house, and it was like, oh, it's like the sky opened up, and I knew this was it. This is what I wanted to do. It's that immediate gratification of cleaning something. It's like, man, that looks fantastic.
Right.
So obviously, coming out of corporate and going from a little money to no money.
Yeah.
So I had all the same bills. So I scrounged. I borrowed the equipment. I Vista printed some business cards, and in my free time, door to door. I'd go into a neighborhood park, and I would walk the entire neighborhood, knocking on doors, handing out cards, knocking on doors, and I'd wash a house. And it's like, wow, somebody let me wash their house. And then I'd wash it, and over time, I got a good reputation because I'm a worker bee, and I like what I do, and I'm fairly personable. And so I bought a little more equipment, and then look, one day I bought a truck. Now there's a game changer.
Right.
Let me tell you what. When you move out of the Subaru Outback to a truck,
that's something right there.
Yeah, and then I went from the little 2.7 gallon per minute homeowner pressure washer, man, and I stepped up, man. I got the 4 gallon. Yeah, I'm commercial now. Yeah. So I'm up there, and I'm washing, and do a little more, and I'm old school Dave Ramsey. It's like you buy it as you can afford it. You do not go in debt.
Right.
Yep. And so I bought all my equipment, and I saved my money, and I'm not gonna lie. Man, that first 2 years was peanut butter and ramen. And it's a good thing that I like peanut butter and ramen. Because it was a fairly steady diet. And then I bought my trailer and hired my first employee. And it was on.
That's
built
awesome.
A website. I became an LLC. I became a business. I went from I had a job of washing houses to I am in the business of washing houses. And I was a soft washer before it ever had a term. Man, you can't swing a stick now without hitting some guy says, I soft wash houses. Man, I soft wash houses with a pump sprayer on a ladder.
Wow.
Yeah, every house was 12 ladder moves.
Right. Hey, Marc, let's go back to that when you first hired that first employee, right? Now you're out there, you're killing it, you're going straight old school, knocking on doors, getting an opportunity to wash a house and doing a great job, taking it beyond what other people would do. One of the big issues that people have when they start to grow their business is, that employee is never gonna do what the owner is gonna do. So how did you instill your work ethic and your passion for what you were doing in that first employee to kind of take you to that next level?
Well, and that's true. Because I have great crews now, great crews, and I go out there, and when I go out and do it, they see the passion I have for what I do. I love what I do. But when you start out, the big part is the hiring process. You find somebody, people with no passion have no passion.
Mm-hmm.
You can't instill passion. You have to find somebody who has a passion for at least something, and then try to convert some passion over to what you do. If every day you can make them realize how important what you do is to them as well, and you can show them a future in that business. Now I'm the first to admit, not everybody wants to be a pressure washer. I never thought I did.
Yeah.
But if I can show you how your future can be in pressure washing, and y'all may have noticed that I am naturally enthusiastic.
Yep.
Sometimes that rubs off.
You sound like a Southern offensive coordinator. All optimistic. You're all downhill.
Man, let's do it. Let's go do this thing. And so now I've hired and fired quite a few people. The hiring process is hard. I've refined it now, and I know what I don't want. Yeah. And once they see how hard I'm willing to work to do what it takes, then they're like, well, maybe I should step up. I have a background in the military. I am not, are you tired today? It's like, really? Are you bleeding? Is the phone sticking out?
Right.
Yeah.
Rub some dirt on it and let's move. Yeah. Let's go on. And that's our attitude towards work. And then you instill a culture is like, yeah, let's get it done because we're the guys you're going to call. Nobody does it better than us. That's my building. I washed that building. Nobody else could have done it like we did it. Yeah. That's the people you look for, and that's that's your training module right there. Right. You instill them that they can be the best, and if you work towards being the best, the money comes.
Right.
Yeah. I think you brought up some good points for those that are listening that are starting out, maybe thinking about hiring their first employee. How much money were you putting away, and that you were comfortable enough before hiring that first employee? Were the finances good? You were living on ramen, investing back into your business, your time, your energy. For those that are starting out, what do you think's like a reasonable amount of money to have for that first hire? Because like you said, it may not go well, especially if it's your first hire. You might not do it right. You're going to learn a lot by hiring that first person. How much should somebody put away before having that money for that hire, for the equipment, for what they're doing?
Well, the key is all of it. You take all the money you make, and whatever you are not directly living on, you take that and you reinvest it into your company.
Yeah.
Currently, I've got multiple trucks, multiple rigs, I have no debt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Everything gets bought cash. If I can't buy it in cash, I buy it where I can pay it off in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So really, it's not a money point you're looking at. It's a work point that you're looking at. Have you built your business to a degree where you have enough work to keep that employee bringing in money? Because if they're working, they're making you money. The things that people forget is that once you become a boss, you're beholden to your employee to make sure that they get to feed their family. Yeah. They get paid first. I have multiple commercial accounts, and my guys get paid. Some of my accounts are 30, 60, 90 days. My guys get paid at the end of every week. I don't get paid till somebody writes me a check.
Right.
Yeah. But the key is to build up your workload, and because you won't start out doing commercial. Most pressure washers do not. You're doing residential. You get paid right then and there.
Right.
You catch a check, or however it is you're running your business. And so the cash flow is there. As long as you have the work, the cash flow is there to allow you to pay your employee. And it's up to you how you want to pay your employees. Mine get paid weekly because I found that in the beginning, a lot of the kinds of people that I hired needed money every week.
Right.
Every week.
Yeah. And at some point, I would like to transition to the 2-week paycheck. That would make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what we do now. So I wish I had it's like, well, once you've reached that 34.7% mark, you could go ahead. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's all right. I've got us up. We're going to be doing 12 houses this week. So we're going to knock out, 2 to 3 a day. I can give you all the hours. I guarantee you 30. We'll probably do 40. Hell, now, man, I just try to keep them under 60.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Dealing with those employees, Marc, is now you're down in the Winston-Salem area.
Yes, sir.
You have a certain degree of seasonality, I would assume, down there.
We do, and you've got a plan for that.
Now, how do you? That's exactly what I'm at. Like, what is the plan? How do you? Obviously, hours will get shorter in the winter. How do you keep those guys going so you don't potentially lose them to another career path?
You've got to be willing to do whatever it takes. All right. So when I started out, obviously I didn't have a cushion. I didn't have any money. And so you go from pressure washing and roof cleaning, which we do a tremendous amount of. Man, do you hold your hands like that? Do you put them in your pockets? How does that work? Okay. So in the winter, man, gutter clean. We clean gutters. We do some chainsaw work. Whatever you can do. And you have to explain. I tell my guys even today, in July, I go, winter's coming. It's like Game of Thrones, man. Winter is coming.
I love it.
Right. We get to a certain point, and I am well known to pay my guys to do work around the property, just so they have hours.
Right.
You do whatever it takes, because if you get a good employee is worth more than their weight in gold.
Right.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is eke it. And North Carolina, it's a misnomer. We don't really have a lot of winter. Now we get 2 weeks of real winter, and then if it's above 40 degrees, we're working. So I'm able, even back then, I was able to schedule houses and get some. Now I'll admit, there were some houses that we sprayed and a sheet of ice went running down the side.
Took some chances there.
A man's got to eat. I mean, it got clean. We got it clean. It was clean. We did a good job. It just took a while, and that ice was running down. But we, like I said, we'll clean gutters, man. We'll paint some decks. Whatever it takes to make the money, because our season starts back about February.
Gotcha.
About February 15th or so, it starts back. But I've reached a point now in my business that people know me, and they know that we have more free time in the winter. Like, you call me in March or April, I go, I'll see you in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You call me today, I said, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right. True. So you're talking about getting your guys hours. How are you paying your employees? Is it a salary? Is it hourly?
We pay
commission
hourly.
based?
I have offered. I'm sorry. I don't mean to step over you.
No, go. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have offered salary, but I have a lot of different bonus incentives. And salary just can't compare to what I pay. Yeah. My guys make a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. I pay them really well. Yeah. There's a lot of people with a 4-year degree that don't make anywhere close to what my guys make.
That's awesome.
This year, we've gone to paid time off. There's a concept. You didn't work and you get paid. That's awesome. I'm trying to adjust to the new reality.
Yeah.
Had they not, I'm not going to go there. Insurance is a challenge.
Yeah.
We're working on it. That's all I can say with it, man, is I would like to offer insurance if we could find a good way to do it. Obviously we carry general liability and workman's comp. But I would like my people to have, everything that a corporation has.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, man, I don't want all the business. I just want all the business we can do.
Right.
Okay.
And
so you're paying hourly with incentives along the way.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked, which is my nature. There are certain jobs, especially in some of our commercial work, that I pay them hourly plus $5 an hour to do that job. Some of them I pay time and a half all day long to do the job because that job sucks.
Yeah, because it's bad.
And it does because I do it. There is no job that any of my guys do that I will not jump in there and do it before them. As a matter of fact, I do some of them that are worse because I just don't want them to have to do it, and I want them to see that I'm willing.
That's awesome.
But
so you're out there doing jobs with them.
Oh God, I love when I get out from behind the desk.
Yeah,
man. Look, but people don't realize when you start a small business and you're in the service industry, let's say, you do it because you love doing that thing, whatever that is. I don't care if it's anvil building, whatever it is. But then you transition to boss, and then you transition to manager.
Yeah.
And nobody in the world ever grows up. I want to be a manager when I grow up.
Isn't that the truth?
That's true.
Oh my God! It's like, oh please, no more paperwork. Yeah. Please, for the love of God, stop throwing paperwork at me.
Yeah.
It takes the joy out of what you do. I used to own 3 gyms, and it got so big that it got to the point where right outside my window was the gym, and I stopped working out because I didn't have time to work out, and I couldn't coach, so I got out of it, got into this business, but. Yeah, if people don't realize that the hardest part about we do things we love, and one of the toughest things is the business can really take you away from that if you're not careful. And then there's a byproduct of that too, is if you end up doing that too much, then you kind of lose touch with how the job is really done and how you show that to an employee and how you deal with customers. You kind of remove yourself from that situation. So hats off to you that you stay in it.
My best days are the days I get to go back out and wash. I enjoy it. I washed the house the other day. I was like, man, this is fantastic.
Yep.
I love this. The best part is I don't answer phone calls.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love talking to people. It's obvious I'm a people person. Right. I enjoy talking to people, and I love talking to people about their projects. And if either one of you wanted to talk about cleaning your house right now, dude, that's a whole nother podcast, right. And I could do it all day long. I love it. It's my passion.
Yeah.
But man, anytime I can get out and just wash and not talk to people and just that zen, putting the chemicals on and just watching it clean off because after all this time I'm still like, wow, that really cleaned up. Of course it cleaned up. It cleans up every single time. We do 1,000+ houses a year.
Wow,
that is awesome.
They all clean up.
Right,
every one of them.
Right. Well, just to switch gears a little on you, Marc.
Sure.
We're in some tough times economically, not just in terms of business, but in terms of being able to acquire things that you need, chemicals, equipment, that sort of stuff. Supply chains have broken down. We're not living in a day. We're not living in a day where you just get on Amazon and it's here the next day. Sometimes it might not be here for weeks. So I want to give you a second to think about that and how that's affecting your business. But right now we're gonna take a quick little break, pay some bills, and then when we come back, we're gonna get your insight on how you deal with some of those supply shortages and how that affects your business. So we'll be right back, guys.
You certainly can't afford to give profit away for no reason. But what if I told you credit card processors may be overcharging you and robbing you of profits you've worked hard to earn? It's time to put an end to being overcharged for payment processing. It's time to take back your profits. That's why we put together a free report, How to Avoid Being Overcharged by Your Payment Processor. Head over to takebackyourprofits.com, download the report, and put an end to being overcharged for credit card processing. You've worked hard for your sales, and you deserve to keep it. What are you waiting for? Go to takebackyourprofits.com and download your report today.
All right, we're back. So, Marc, let's jump right in there and talk about some of those supply chain issues and if they're affecting your business.
About that. I was sweating it there for a minute. It is a challenge. My chemical supplier. I love this story. When I started my business, now obviously bleach is a component of what we use.
Yeah.
I'd roll in there with my Subaru Outback and I would buy every gallon of bleach that the Dollar General had. I'd clear out those shelves.
Right.
And then if I had 2 houses that day, that's right, I'd go to the Family Dollar and I'd clear them out. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Now I have it delivered 500 gallons at a time.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That
know.
is
It's
awesome.
No one is more amazed than me, man. When I look at my business and where it is and what's going on with it, no one is more amazed than me. I realize that. How did all this happen? Wow.
Yep.
It's crazy. But back to the question that you asked. Yeah, we are. Yeah, because our prices are going up for our supplies. I just got an email the other day from my chem supplier. I give a big shout out to T Chem Industrial Supply. Love them. They do a fantastic job for us, and their prices are going up because, man, the cost of their materials have gone up. And they do what they can. They hold it to the best of their ability. But and at the end of the day, we're all a business.
Yeah.
And it's a numbers game.
Right.
You got to charge. You got to make money. So what we do now is we look at the things that's like, if I've got to buy one fitting, I go ahead and order 3 fittings.
Gotcha.
If I had another tank, I would order more bleach at a time. When you stock up, what do I use the most of, and what do I foresee using? Because after a few years, you get a really good idea of what you go through and what you're going to need, and you buy more of it. If I buy a pressure gun, I buy 4 pressure guns.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm the worst. If I find a good pair of waterproof boots, I'll buy 3 pairs of them simply because I don't want the company to go out of business that sells me the boots that I like.
Right.
So true.
It is. Don't you hate that? Isn't that the worst thing? You find something you really like, whether it's clothing, it doesn't matter what it is, and then it breaks and you're like, they don't make that anymore.
Yeah, they don't make that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wrong. Well, in our business, man, feet are important. Is a whole lot, another subject, but man, your feet get wet and then you're miserable. Man, good boots, walking around all day with your feet dry and comfortable. Dude, that's a blessing right there.
Well, I will tell you, power washing without shoes on, I made that mistake once before. I had two cuts across the top of my foot, and they were red.
Nice.
They were red for like a month.
Y'all can't see it, but I've got 2 scars right here and right there.
Yeah.
I had my hand up on a house one time, and I was washing too close, and I caught my hand right there, and my hand bloomed up that big, full of water.
Oh no,
man! And I had to squeeze it back out.
Right.
Oh,
I'm shocked. I was cleaning. I have a small boat that we kick around here, and I took my pressure washer out there to clean it, and I got too close to the leather paneling, and it ripped right through the leather paneling.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, damn.
Next time you go around, what you do is you call me first,
right?
And I'll walk you through it,
right?
And just so y'all know, that's a service that we offer to a lot of our clients own pressure washers. I would say that fully 50% of the houses we wash, those people own pressure washers. What they find is it's too difficult to work with, and you only use them every now and again. It's like with most small engines and issues with ethanol, the small engines don't work if you don't use them on a regular basis. Yeah. And then they find that, them washing their houses takes exponentially longer than us washing your house.
Yep.
We offer, you can call me and I will tell you step by step how to get your house washed to the best way possible and how to utilize your machine, because we can't wash every house. Can't do it.
Right.
Even if we had all the business there is in the Winston-Salem area, we couldn't do it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's customer service.
What awesome. Going forward, the all industries change. All industries are adapting to new things.
Absolutely.
What's next in pressure washing? Like, what do you see as avenues or new verticals that pressure washing companies can kind of grow into?
Well, the cool thing is, we discussed soft washing there for a little bit. Soft washing is a new thing, and now everybody's a soft washer. Oh, good Lord. 20, 30 of them start up every year, mm-hmm. and then at the end of every year, I buy their equipment. Because, pressure washing is not that difficult, but the business of pressure washing is a bear.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, it is a business. When you run out of friends and family to wash for, now it's a business.
Now it's in business.
So soft washing came in now, and I have no idea where y'all are, but roof cleaning is where that's the next for our industry. Roof cleaning in North Carolina, I've been doing it for 5 years. We do a lot of it. But it's not, we haven't even touched the surface. So many people are like, you can clean your roof? No, you'll tear all them granules off. No, soft washing a roof is the best thing you can do for your roof. Right. It really is. And
what does soft washing do for your roof?
Well, let's say you have a roof. I'm guessing you do because you're in a room. Yep. All right. Up on your roof, you've got black algae growing and you have those streaks, yep. And it looks horrible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, we can come with a soft wash application, spray it down, all that stuff just starts dissolving. It literally looks like you put a new roof on. Right. Your roof looks brand new. Right. The downside is if you don't do it, first it's algae, then it's lichen. Lichen embeds itself into the gravel of your shingles and starts tearing it off. But then you get the biologics. And once the life cycle of algae and lichen form an organic base for moss to grow. And then moss grows in, it puts its roots under your shingle and breaks the bond. Wind catches it, you lose shingles.
Right. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. Okay. People are like, what?
Yeah, we're in the Plymouth Cape Cod.
They don't teach you this stuff in school. They should.
Yeah, we see that near the. We're in the Cape Cod, like Plymouth area, and where obviously it's right on the ocean, and we see that a lot on a lot of properties where you'll drive by a beautiful house and there's moss, especially around the chimneys or near trees.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we see that all over the place.
And all that is easily fixable by somebody trying. You get somebody now. We get these guys that go up and they're going, I'll clean that thing for $100. Yeah, and they will destroy everything you own, to your plants, to your roof. Right. And you get what you get. There's no real shortcuts. You need, if you're doing it, and I don't mean to be a commercial for our roof cleaning. I love the roof cleaning industry, but how to say this? There are some less than ethical people who do what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's any home services industry.
It really is. You really do need to look at the reviews, look at the company, right? How long they've been in business. If you see a company that's been in business for a year and they've got 100 reviews, I could get another 100 reviews tomorrow. Yeah. Should I care to pay for them?
Yeah. Yeah, there's services that get you all kinds of reviews.
All kinds of reviews. I literally watched that happen one time. Somebody who got in the roof cleaning business, within 2 weeks, they had 50 reviews on there. It's like, I've been doing this for years, man. It's tough to get a review. It is, because people are burned out on them. Because, you guys probably buy Amazon like my wife buys Amazon. It's like, comes in and everything we buy is like, hey, did you like that nice blah, blah, blah? What would you rate it? And you just get, you don't want to see it. You get, I bought it, leave me alone.
Right.
It's the same way in our business. We have a lot of really good reviews. And we have a lot of good customers, but man, that is the bane of our existence. Just keep the reviews flowing, because that's part of how you're listed in Google, and it's part of the bit. Yeah, it's a large part of the business. Right. It just is, and we're grateful for every star that we get.
Great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, one last question for you, Marc, is
sure.
Taking, there's a barrier to entry in every business. This one isn't too bad.
No, it is not.
So a lot of people who are working for a living and are looking to start a new career, or they just want to do something on their own. How do they what's the best way to start scaling? They got into it, they're cleaning some houses, they're getting some people outside of their buddies and their family. And they're turning it into a business, but what's the next step? How do you scale up? How do you start getting to that point where you could have 3 or 4 guys and you can start, your outreach is better? And how are you finding those new customers and through that growth? And do you spend a lot of time on trying to capture referrals? What's the starting point to scale?
What's the magic formula?
What's that? Yeah, basically, yeah.
Tell us.
Give us the picture.
Yes, I shall give away all my stuff. Look, man, there's no magic for the key is to go out and build repeat business and word of mouth, and just keep building on what you have. Don't do it the way I did it. All right, there's tons of customer relationship management software out there. Use it. Use technology in your favor. I started out like they're in my phone.
Right.
Great. Yeah. Yes, I scheduled you on Google schedule, my Google Calendar. Awesome. You get you some good software, save your people, learn how you can start doing some marketing on your own. We've hired a marketing company because we're ready to go. There are phases in this business. If you're going to do this business, go to one of the conventions, go to the classes. There are people who are titans. I'm talking titans of this industry. People that I look up to and like, yes, I want to be you. You are my spirit animal. And they will teach you how to be them. Yeah. And so you reach a point that you've got your one truck, you're ready to move to that second truck. Well, now you're going to have to spend a little more money on advertising. All right. And be smart about it. And there are more people, I venture, that will sell you advertising and ways to grow your business than there are people running businesses. And just go on Facebook and look. They will sell you everything. True. But the reality is that no one method works, because if it did, we would all do it. Yeah. In some areas, like up in the Northwest or Northeast where you are, yard signs work really well. They're not as prominent down here. They don't work as well. Facebook has always been my friend, but it's not as friendly as it used to be. I'm looking for the next. Keep contact with your contacts. All right. People forget who and I know this comes as a shock that anyone could forget me. All right. I'm there's a lot of me. I'm hard to forget. But they just like, man, I was going to call you and I couldn't remember who you were. Don't ever let them forget who you are. Yeah. No one should ever go, that Mark, what does he do for a living?
Right.
Yeah. No, you will know what I do for a living. Man, if it's your business, and let me tell you that there are a ton of people that start out as a sideline, especially police officers and firemen that do this business, that they have a lot of downtime and they do it and become very successful. Right. Build your plan. Save your money, buy the right equipment. So you're ready to go to that next. Make sure that you have, someone that can help you with your office. Man, the day I hired an accountant is the best day of my life, other than watching my kids be born. Oh my God.
Amen, right?
That's true. That's a true story right there. That is a true story.
I had a room filled with receipts.
Yep.
And I didn't know what any of them were. It's like, I don't know. Receipts.
Yep.
I'm sure I'm not supposed to. Yeah. That first time I got a $21,000 tax bill.
Wow.
Well, perhaps I'm doing this wrong.
Yeah.
But it's planning. If you're making money and you want to continue to make money, you need to plan to grow. I mean, it's like, oh, I need 32 lug nuts for next. No, think about your business, but think about the scale of your business. If you're doing it this way now, what's it going to take to do the next? Because the next involves more equipment. It involves more personnel, and it involves more support personnel. Right. How much do you want to pay support personnel? And are those support personnel making you money?
Right.
Amen.
Because at the end of the day, it's not how much you earn, it's how much you keep.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a whole nother soapbox right there.
Yeah, it is.
I remember the first time my accountant said, yes, we saved you $26,000 this year. I was like, yes, you are worth every penny I
everything.
Right.
Oh God.
Well, what are some final question here? What are some of the
another final
question? This is a great podcast. I'm happy we got you, but I don't want to let you go yet. What are some resources that people could look into to get started in this industry? Are there websites that are there mastermind groups? What are some things that people can do to kind of get the information?
Our pressure washers are not masterminds. All right, masterminds will teach you business and marketing and blah blah. All right, there are a bajillion pressure washing groups.
Yep.
Man, you can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube, but you've got to have discernment, all right? Because a lot of these guys are selling something. They will sell you some equipment. They want to sell you a way of doing, sell you a system of work. Not all systems work for everybody. Man, there's a half dozen different ways to apply chemicals. And I know them all. I've done them all. I use the one that works for me. I've got good friends in this industry, and even some that I am fortunate enough to mentor that don't like my system at all. And use their own, and it works for them. You find what works for you. You listen to the people who have succeeded, not the people who's like, "Oh, look at my shiny new rig." No, man. Well, one of the guys that I look up to says, "You got time to polish your rig? You ain't working that much." Man, my stuff looks like stuffing. And that's because we work. Man, when my guys drag in at the end of the day, I'm lucky to get them get the bag of pork rinds out of the front of the truck.
It's awesome.
Right.
They're done.
Yep.
They're literally done. So, but there are Facebook, YouTube. There's a ton of information about what we do. But look at the guys who are successful at it. Not the guys that want to show you the bright and shiny in the system, but the guys who are making money, real money. The guys that I follow make millions doing this. One of the guys that I follow, if I can mention his name is Rob Anderson. He's in Maryland, and he's in a town smaller than the one I am in, and he makes $1 million a year pressure washing and hanging Christmas lights. Oh, that's my spirit animal, boys, right there.
Yeah.
If you can make that kind of money in a town smaller than mine, then you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I follow. I want somebody smart. If you're smarter than me, I will follow you wherever you want to go.
Right.
Well, and Mark, I think you bring up a great point, and for those starting out, they need to be skeptical of who you're listening to on these Facebook platforms, because everybody has a voice. And you really need to peel back the layers a little bit and make sure that those people are real. Do some research on them. Make sure that they have the business that you would one day want, or the level of business, the money in the business, the type of business, the revenue, because we're on Facebook groups all the time, especially in the home service industry. And it's amazing how people give advice. They're a one-man shop. They have never hired an employee, and they're telling people how to do the business side of things. So just make sure, whoever you're listening to, that they have the fruit on the tree, because that's good. Those are the difference makers. Those are the people that you want to hear from, not just a random person that you don't even know about who's spewing some information on Facebook. Do some research on these people if you're going to take their advice, and because we don't do this. I mean, some of us do this because we're passionate, but we do this because this provides a living and provides a means for us to put food on the table for our families. So be cautious who you're taking advice from, and do some research on that. I love that point, Mark. That was great.
Absolutely.
Way to take everything I just said and make it succinct.
That's a word I haven't heard put with Joey before. That's great. Well, folks, this has been a great educational experience. Mark, thanks so much for taking your time and joining us. And if you want more content like this, push that subscribe button, join the crew. We're lucky today because we had Mark and Joey, and both have built very successful businesses in their industry. Joey's built a very successful home inspection business, and Mark obviously in the pressure washing industry. And the great thing about these guys, and just from my experiences with them, is you've heard Mark say it over and over again, is he's always looking to learn, he's always looking to grow, and there's an old expression that he who knows everything knows nothing. And moving forward, if you have any questions out there for Mark or Joey, we'll make sure we'll get those questions answered for you. Just, comment below and we'll get those questions to them and see if we can get them answered. And guys, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you having on.
Oh, man, it was so much my pleasure.
Great.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll see you soon.
All right, let's hope.
Take care, guys.
Take care, gentlemen.
Thanks for listening. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell so you won't miss our next episode. This episode was produced by Jake Aronson. This has been a Pair Payments production.